HbA1C test should be part of the health check because it reflects, I was told by the health smart person, and I did, following her advice, I did look myself, that it reflects your blood glucose level of last 3 months. So if your glucose level is high for last 3 months or more, it will tell you your health conditions in the past tense as well. Because there are some other tests as well which I'm not sure about, but I mean, I will say that all these tests should be part of the comprehensive health check for certain group of people and certain age of people, I will say. I mean, I have a message. If they find this facility, they should go ahead actually, because if there is a hidden problem, it will come out. I think, like I say, that there is a saying that prevention is better than cure. So if you know the problem and you catch it early, it can save a lot of problems in the future. For example, I was told that, I was told, and I did my own reading on that, diabetes is one of the most serious condition. It's not I will not call, I won't say it is a disease, but it is a serious condition which is hidden. And if people find out, they can save many other problems. For example, eyesight, blood circulations in the limbs, and other complications which are a result of diabetes, they can all be cured once the condition has been found out or diagnosed and then treated properly. I mean, I was explained that there is a proper program, diabetes management and health processing program, which people have to go through once they are confirmed diabetics, and it can save a lot of problems actually in the later stages of life actually, because diabetes lead to many more complications. I will say, I think it did, because in this particular case it was in a walkway, so you to walk into the supermarket you have to pass by their stall, their setup. So, and anybody passing by, they can read it, what is this about. There were big posters there, and plus the receptionist was telling the people verbally by giving them leaflets that you should come along and do the test, come along and do the test. And it did help actually. Many people, I mean, got convinced. Many people, and in fact, it was so oversubscribed that some of the people have to wait, and they were willing to wait. I mean, in my case, I was told that there will be a slight wait. I said, I don't mind, I will wait. Once I got convinced that it's a good idea to go ahead. So I will say it should be a bit more expanded, and if it is given a purpose-built space within the supermarket, if not within the supermarket, the whole complex is called a Nag's Head shopping complex. So there are others, the Marks and Spencer and Jim Silby and other organizations are there. So there's a big foyer as well. So they can have a proper permanent setup there, or a regular setup. I think, like I said that in the beginning, that once I got to know, the day I got to know that there is a problem, I become conscious of the diet. That I did my own research on the using electronic sources, that what sort of diets I should be eating and what should avoid. And there is something called GI, or glycemic index, and some of I mean, in general they say the lower the number, that the better the diet is for diabetic person. So I start looking for labels, the diets which says, and as far as my knowledge is that there are not many diets which shows GI number, and I found one or two breads, but I think this is another idea which they can try to promote, I suppose, that start putting GI numbers on different diets. I think they can do it. I mean, they can, for example, they can hire a person who can be there, people can walk to that person, like for example what they call it a dietitian. They can hire a dietitian employ a dietitian and he can stay in a supermarket in a purpose built environment, and people can walk to him, say that walk-in advice service, I suppose. And also they can do in manufacturing of the diet, I suppose. I think it it may not be controlled altogether, but I think it can be managed. Management is through your diet, your lifestyle, like avoid certain things and do like, I mean, I was given a whole advice by the health smart professional and my nurse that things like, for example, increase the exercise level and avoid certain groups of foods, and it's, I think that control is called controlling diabetes through diet control. If it does not work, then I think the second stage is they put you on medication, which doctor prescribe you, you take on prescriptions, and I think these are that I've been explained to this all along, but the actual I am going through the whole process at this time, and I will see how it looks in the near future, I suppose. I found out this thing in August. This is now almost November now, and for last during this period I haven't eaten a single sweet thing, total avoidance of sweet, change my diet altogether. Salt I start avoiding it, and fruit and vegetable have increased it, and gone to a mainly a vegetarian, semi-vegetarian diet. The difference is that here you become used to a Western diet. So when we came here, I started eating Western diet, and it was absolute Western diet. Now I decided that this Western diet might be responsible for my condition, because I get to know that the people who are vegetarians, they are not many vegetarians are diabetic, and I found this very strange that why vegetarian. This is my personal knowledge. I have no firm evidence. I think this was the problem, that it's not only with me. The Asians who come from our there, I found from my own research and investigation, what happened is this. Basically, that those nations are poor economically. So when the what you call the buying power is limited, it's almost zero. So the things which are expensive, sugar, oil, ghee, cake, the expensive, they are very expensive over there. People cannot afford it. People cannot. You can only look at them. You cannot eat it. So those people, when they move from that environment to this environment, it is other way around. Here those diets are cheap, like cake, pastry, sugary stuffs is very cheap over here, and plus we haven't eaten those things for long. People just think, oh, cake is there, just eat everything. Like chocolates, we never seen chocolates. Start eating chocolates without control. Asian sweets, which are we call mathais, you can only look at them over there. Only the 1% of the society can afford those things. Here you can tons of those you can buy and eat it. So this the reversal of diet, and the vegetarian diet, which is cheap over there, like lentils and this and that, they are very expensive over here. We all cannot afford it. So they become, we convert to Western diet, and that is the main cause of damage to our health actually. If now we decided to go back to Asian diet, since I found that in our particular case, and we are finding that moving back to Asian diet is very, very expensive financially, because those things are very expensive over here. Lentils are very expensive, and flour, this wheat flour, they are very expensive items. But things which are processed diet, processed tin food, cakes, pastry, biscuits, all they are very cheap here, and fish and chips type of item. So it's the change of diet actually, like you mentioned, a Mediterranean diet. It's the diet makes a big difference actually, and I will say to the people that keep an eye on your diet and live a healthy life and have a regular checkups. This is the must thing actually. This is the sad thing is, if we are, I mean, I found this thing just by chance. If this thing was not available on that blood, I wouldn't have known. I would have thought that everything is normal. It's just founding out, and it's just now it's all managing. It's nothing to do. It's not an, like I said, it is not an illness. It's just managing your life actually. And I think if I manage my life, by next year if I do the same, if they are still there, I will do another test within 6 months and see how it goes anyway. Yeah, I mean I did say to the, I come across that receptionist again recently, and I did say to her, and I say it again, and that health smart, that checkup, it did really save my life actually. I will say literally save my life, because it made me conscious that there is a problem which need to be addressed, and I am in the process of addressing that situation at the moment. I will recommend this test to anybody, and some of us might be reluctant to visit their GP for many reasons, but because these tests are done in an informal environment and in a more relaxed environment or more user friendly environment, it is always good. These tests should be more available, and if they are more available, I think the population or the general public will be more keen to go ahead with these tests actually, because they do not oblige you to go through a process actually. I mean, you don't have to spare your time and effort. You can just walk in and walk out. I mean, like I was mentioning, that the food, we used to eat white bread. Now we change it to this seeded batch. And some of these breads, they show you the GI index, which is very useful actually, because what we discovered is if the GI index is below certain numbers,
and plus
it is
shoes
good.
We bought nowadays is
There is another thing is that we were told by these health professionals that we should drink more juice, especially grapefruit juice. So we start using this grapefruit juice, and we stop all these diets anyway. We don't use any of it. And also we start eating mainly Asian vegetables like lady fingers and tropical, which come from India and Pakistan. So these kind of foods we are eating nowadays actually. So because of the advice from the health professional, I will show you the, if you start